I was a huge fan of the It miniseries that came out in the 90s. It was a fun yet flawed piece of work that really got me with some interesting characters and a terrific bad guy. And I was really excited for the big screen adaptation of It. I knew it was only going to take half of the story of the miniseries, and hopefully if it was a success, we're going to get the other half, which obviously, see now at the box office figures, that's definitely going to happen. And the critical fanfare that happened when this movie landed was outshone or outsounded by the fans. People seem to love this movie. There has been so many reviews, and you know what, I was in two minds about doing my review, but hey, I'm going to put my thoughts out there anyway, even if most of you lovely people have already seen it. The story of It revolves around the town of Derry, which seems to have a rather big problem. Lots of people are going missing, and nobody seems to really acknowledge this or do much about it. We see Bill at the start, he's our main character, as his brother Georgie goes out in the rain and gets attacked, eaten, destroyed by Pennywise the clown. And from there on, these kids in this small town are terrorised by this clown. They gather together with their collective fear and decide to fight back against this monster of sorts. That's the basic premise of It, and let's face it, this had a terrific marketing. When it arrived on the big screen, people were salivating for it. The images of Pennywise were everywhere. They were creepy, they were horrific, and they gave you a good idea of what we were hopefully going to get in the movie. I'm a big horror fan. I genuinely love most horrors, but they're very hard to make them compelling or constant rewatches. Usually it achieves this by having a charismatic bad guy or some gore or something that just keeps you coming back to it. But one of the strongest things and one of the best things about this movie is the characters, and it creates real characters that you buy into, that you love, you enjoy seeing interacting with each other on screen, and you want them all to survive, which is the key point here. You like these kids, and it is kids in peril, so you naturally have this inclination that they should survive. This Losers Club already have you on their sides because they're people, probably like most people watching this, film fans, the kind of geeky, nerdy kids, the ones that are picked up on school, the one that he's naturally just attuned to, and all of them have various personalities. They all have their little quirks and tics, but it's the dialogue between these characters that really solidified my affection for these characters. The dialogue is coarse, it is harsh, and that is the language that is used by kids. It's the language I used when I was a kid as well, and it is funny. It is ridiculously funny, and it's one of the key secrets of the movie, how funny it is. You're laughing with these kids, you're laughing along with them, doing their day-to-day things, thinking what they're saying is absolutely hilarious, and it is to an extent. And then when the horror hits, it hits you harder because you have an affection for these characters. You don't want to see them getting hurt. Now, the horror in the movie is not as strong as I've seen elsewhere, but it really creates these creepy pictures of just wackiness, weirdness that kind of haunt dreams, or you could see haunting the kids' dreams. You've got the clowns, you've got leper victims, you have zombies, you have just weird creatures, you have paintings that come to life. You have all these wacky things that appear to these kids, which is their deepest fears. And then you have Pennywise himself, who is excellent in the movie, especially with the initial sort of contact we have with him when he meets Georgie. And you see him trying to work Georgie around, trying to get him closer and closer. And at one point, he actually forgets what he's doing and just starts to salivate. It's dripping from his lips. He goes into a daze. He's just kind of looking at this meal he's about to have, and he just wants it and forgets about the facade he's put on. It's a little touch that I thought was fantastic. And there's lots of little touches like this throughout the movie. But there are some things I didn't like. Some of the jumps in logic didn't quite sit with me, like the fact that the kids know that they're going to try to, Pennywise is going to try to separate them, and they might manage to stop Stan from going away, and almost immediately Bill wanders away after telling the kids no, that we need to stick together as a cohesive unit. And you're just like, really? 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 And then some of the acting is a bit inconsistent as well, but overall, this is a movie that gets by on its charm, its charisma of the group of characters, the sort of really wacky horror, some inventive camera techniques as well. It's nicely shot and a little bit twisted, a little bit askew to most big budget horror movies, and I had a lot of fun with it. It's not the masterpiece that I thought it was going to be, but it's still a very good movie that I'm going to enjoy rewatching again very soon. I gave it 4 out of 5. I thought it was well worth your time. You want to see it in as big a cinema as you can, with as big a packed house as you can, and just let that build the atmosphere. If you've seen it, let me know in the comment box below what you thought of it, and I'll see you next time on Man vs. Film.